And part of my motivation to like start the course also was that, hey, there's no single repository, and this is a huge problem that people face, right? Like there's no single actionable place that people can go to. And this was like an honest sort of outlet of, okay, yeah, this worked for me, let's abstract it a little bit, and then like let's help more people, which we've been seeing success with. But I'm kind of curious to know, like, what motivated you to become like a mentor in this process as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think as I mentioned earlier, like I was definitely very lonely in this process. And, you know, I think personally for me, one of the things that helped me was doing a lot of my own research and like referencing, like really crawling the web and trying to find like any source that I could leverage to think about, you know, building evidence for any of the categories and things like that. And I think the other thing was, while I did work with a lawyer, like it was not very helpful in many aspects, one of which was, you know, they didn't have a lot of context into the field of work that I was in or the industry that I was in. And so they were not able to really give me any tailored advice as to how I can best leverage my experiences for the categories. And also, like, generally, I think lawyers too, unfortunately, are not very receptive to taking on clients who don't fit the traditional paths of EB1A and B, right? Like I think a couple of lawyers I approached, like right off the bat, they're like, oh, do you have citations or do you have like patents? Like, tell us more about that. And if you don't, like, you know, we're not going to consider you, right? And so it almost felt like, is there even a way? Because one of the things that actually stood out to me about the EB1A is you can self-petition. You don't actually need a job. You don't need to have, you know, labor certification and things like that. And so I'm like, well, it sounds like you can self-petition, but how do I even go about it? Because I don't have, as you said, like there was no single repository of like tools and resources that I could leverage, right?